A lot to talk about. Let's turn to Peter Cunningham, former Assistant Secretary for Communications and Outreach at the U.S. Department of Education. Peter, where do I even begin? Your reaction and how much of a overreach is this really for the Trump administration?
It's really astonishing what they're doing. It's an assault on academic freedom. It's an assault on free speech. It's an assault on research, so many research projects that are being suspended, and it's assault on students. I mean, there's students who are going to be denied federal aid by shifting loans over to the Small Business Administration. It's just going to be chaos for kids who want to go to college. And I think it's part of just a larger strategy to just weaken any institution that can challenge the president and academics. The academia is one of those institutions, and he really just wants to disempower them and force them to their knees. And hopefully it's a great sign that Harvard is standing up to him. I hope other universities join Harvard. I think if they stuck together, they'd have enormous power. He's only succeeding because he's picking them off one at a time.
So let me tell you what Harvard University's Alan Garber, the president, had to say, and we're going to put up his comments on X. He said, "No government, regardless of which party is in power, should dictate what private universities can teach, whom they can admit and hire, and which areas of study and inquiry they can pursue." He goes on to say, "The university will not surrender its independence or relinquish its constitutional rights. Neither Harvard nor any other private university can allow itself to be taken over by the federal government." Taken over by the federal government. Peter, the administration claims this is about reining in anti-Semitic views and views that they are not in line with the Trump administration.
That's just nonsense. I mean, we have free speech in this country. People have expressed themselves pro-Jewish, pro-Palestinian, pro-both, pro-peace. And it's just absurd to think that they're using that as an excuse. He's really trying to just disempower the whole sector so that he can control it, and he can cut the money, cut the funding for it, and just reduce it to something less than it is. I would go further than the president of Harvard, and I would say that even public universities should not be subject to this kind of overreach. Universities are a sacred sector in America. They serve a vital purpose in providing platforms for people of different views.
As someone who went to I went to University of California, Berkeley, and so much of my college and university years, it was all about protests. But college campuses are supposed to be a bastion of dissent and protests.
Exactly, and Berkeley, of course, was the 1960s in America, which was so important to our history, and he just wants to shut that down. He wants to shut that down. He wants to shut lots of other things. He wants to shut down the media. He wants to shut down the judiciary. He wants to shut down Congress, and he wants to have total control. And everybody needs to resist with everything they have, because we're going to lose out in the end. You know, since the U.S. Department of Education was created, the percentage of Americans with college degrees has doubled in 44 years. So he doesn't want that. He wants the opposite. He wants people to be dependent and to be, unable to compete. And it's really going to set America back.
But I think, Peter, what this has also done is create a climate of fear. I mean, we saw with Columbia University, they caved in.
They did. They caved in, and people are caving in all over the place. And there are people around the country who agree with him in some states. You know, the state of Florida is a good example. You know, the entire Trump playbook is playing out in Florida, where they're banning books, where they're threatening teachers, where they just fired a teacher simply because the teacher used the chosen name of a trans student. So they're just doing everything they can to strike fear in the hearts of the education community. And it's sadly having a big impact. It's going to drive people out of the field. It's going to set it back for decades.
And do you think Harvard is going to continue to stand its ground?
I sure hope so. They have the resources to be able to do it. They have the power. And if other universities join them, I think they can absolutely stop the Trump administration in its tracks. This stuff is not grounded in law. It's not grounded in science. It's not grounded in anything except raw power and politics. And the only way to stand up to a bully is to do exactly that, to stand up to him, push back, stay together, stay organized. And I believe that will happen. I do believe this higher ed community is going to realize that there's no path forward if they start to collapse.
Yeah, the implications here are enormous. Thank you so much, Peter Cunningham.
Thank you.